Constantine of Arroz y Frijoles Music, arrozfrijolesmusic.blogspot.com, and I'm here with Brian Chippendale of the fantastic noise rock band Lightning Bolt, who just finished pulverizing a crowd. Pulverizing a crowd here at the Cellar Door, here on an April night in 2011, and you know they weren't going to leave.
Fucking cellar. I'm still looking for the cellar of the Cellar Door. I can't find it.
Oh well,
but it's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, either way, you know that Lightning Bolts weren't going to leave Visalia without getting the Arroz y Frijoles music treatment. And so with that in mind, we've got a few questions for him. Now, Brian, you guys have mentioned Sun Ra as a compositional influence. With that in mind, we here at the Arroz y Frijoles music, we're obsessed with jazz. Like, we wanted to know, what kind of jazz musicians do you listen to that inspire you, that console you, that comfort you, that are just pushing you further? I can't be crazy in thinking that there's not a little bit of Elvin Jones and Max Roach in your sound.
There's a little bit of that. Milford Graves, I'm into Milford Graves. Rashid Ali, there's some Rashid Ali in there for sure. Yeah, Sun Ra, like mid-70s, early 70s Sun Ra stuff blew my mind when I first heard it. Who else have I been listening to? Oh shit, interruption.
I'm getting that.
Mom's on the phone. Where are you, man? Gotta be home by 11. Yeah, I don't know. That album Interstellar Space, John Coltrane, Rashid Ali duo, duet, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah. All like the live Sun Ra, like the live Ann Arbor LPs, which is like 72, 73, 74, Sun Ra live at Ann Arbor. Was it Blues and Jazz or Fest? Those are amazing. Max Roach I haven't listened to that much. I got like really psyched about Milford Graves. I got really psyched about Sonny Sherrick, jazz guitarist. Who else have I listened to? I had a phase. Elvin Jones is mind blowing for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, with all that talk about influences in store. You guys have been asked to perform at the Altamoros parties for Sonic Youth and Dinosaur Jr. on all these fucking fantastic bands. And I can imagine that, you know, you just two guys from Providence, Rhode Island, that must have been pretty mind-blowing. All that said, what do you think is the greatest honor you received thus far as a musician? Tell us.
Greatest honor? I mean, it's a weird thing, you know, honor as a musician. It's pretty just like, it's been such a slow build that it's like every time somebody's like, we want you to come play, and people show up, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this or something. It's just like such a fun job and such a rewarding thing to do. But I mean, yeah, definitely meeting like big stars or whatever is pretty cool. Like meeting Thurston Moore, meeting Sonic Youth the first time was amazing. Meeting Dinosaur Jr., meeting Murph, the drummer for Dinosaur Jr. was awesome. He's just such an awesome drummer. God, who else? Like having Steve Albini walk in our room and be like, I heard your guys' power source for your Digitech whammy's broken. We're here to fix it. Like, big fan. Like Steve Albini shakes our hand. That was pretty awesome. What else? Meeting the Boredoms was amazing.
Wow.
Maybe the biggest moment. I hate to say that there's a hierarchy of musicians, but getting an email from Björk's agency and being like, wow, Björk wants you to come down to New York and play in the studio, which I have drums on 2 of her tracks now.
Yeah.
So that was that might have been the pinnacle of she sang at the Olympics, I'm playing on her album or something. It's like, what the hell's going on? You know? You're riding your bike around your little small town and being like, I'm supposed to do what? So that was pretty wild.
Wow, that's truly remarkable. And all that said, one of the things that attracts a lot of people to Lightning Bolt is the visual presentation, especially in the live incarnation. You just posted up in a mask with that microphone, just
his favorite thing.
Pretty much. I mean, just wilding out and just blah, all that other shit.
Wilding out.
Yeah. All that said, from an artistic aesthetic, how do you feel that influences you in a musical capacity?
Just wilding out, has that influenced me as a musician?
Yeah. How is other things?
Presentation?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good to be surrounded by comfortable things. It gives you a sense of like you can travel alone or you can travel sort of like with an army, and if like your army's like a couple stuffed animals in a mask, it may be a little pathetic of an army, but it still gives you power. So like I have these like little things that, you know, like my drums and like the way I decorate them, like they're mine. You know, I've spent time with them, I've dressed them up, you know, we've helped each other out or something. And my mask, they're all like these little things that kind of like the foundation of my house, I feel like. I mean, I don't necessarily need them, and like I'll do what I have to on any set of drums or in any place without anything. But it's good to bring things along. It's like comforting, and I don't know. So the aesthetic is sort of built in. It's sort of like a force field that like we travel in, a protective bubble maybe, or just like an empowering trampoline that we launch off of, something like that. And then the math, of course, just like, I don't know, it just, you know, puts you in the zone.
Unless you know that it's going to be a show, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not sitting around watching TV anymore.
Yeah, like the same way,
I'm
like
checking my email.
Yeah, like the same way, like guillotine executions were like, you know, shown in like old school France, right?
Just like that.
Exactly like that.
Putting on my head, cutting off my old head. Here we go. Next life.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
All right. All that said, you guys have been around since 1995, and one of the things, yeah, right.
Old man.
Yeah. One of the things that entrances a lot of people in noise music and avant-garde circles this day is Fort Thunder, your guys' old rehearsal space. Now, tell the audience at home that might not be familiar with it, tell them about Fort Thunder, and tell us a memory you've got at Fort Thunder. We heard Arroz y Frijoles music, know all about what Fort Thunder is, but tell the audience at home.
Yeah. I don't know, memory. Fort Thunder, warehouse, lots of dudes, lots of cats, lots of noisy music all the time, lots of garbage that we dragged in off the streets and like stapled to the walls and built houses out of, and I don't know, memory. Standing in the kitchen, like our front door was broken for like a year. So I remember me and my friend just standing in the kitchen at like 3 in the morning, and like the door like swings open, and like the biggest dude I'd ever seen in my life was just standing there, and he's just like, "Hey, you guys, is this the flea market?" And we're just like, "Dude, it's 3 in the morning."
What the fuck, right?
It's not a fucking flea market. Because there was a flea market downstairs, and he like kind of walks in, this like big angry dude, and he's just like, "What do you got for sale in here?" And we're just sort of like, "Flea market it opens up in the morning, man. You should I don't know." He disappeared, but that was one pretty memorable. Not that exciting, but a really exciting one was like one time I was still screening because I still screen in there. Same door, and like I'm blasting music. I feel like I was like blasting like ABBA or some weird shit like that. And like
knowing me and knowing
exactly,
you.
yeah. And then like going along to the rhythm, I hear like this knocking on the door, and I'm just like, "Who the fuck is that?" It's like 3 in the morning again, because I used to always be up at 3 in the morning. And I like stomp over to the door, and like we had a big push bar on the door. So instead of the huge guy coming in, like this time I like kick the door open. I'm just like, "Who's out there?" And the door swings open, and there's like 20 cops like with their guns, you know, out literally at our front door. Because our door's like in a mill building, so they were like in the hallway, just like shotguns and guns, and it's just like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So all these cops came in our place, and I guess somebody had like shot a gun off the roof, and they were like looking for the guy that shot a gun off the roof, and they were like, you know, like there'd be like we had all these rooms where people were sleeping and stuff, and there'd be like dudes with like a gun going into like just like a sleeping girl's room, you know, which I was kind of like, you know, there's a girl sleeping in there. If you go in there with a gun and she wakes up and like takes a swing at you because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on, like don't shoot anybody. And there's like a guy with dog and a shotgun, and then they get all weird with us. Like at first they're like, "Hey, somebody shot a gun off the roof. Like, do you know anything about it?" And then they're just like, "Where are the guns?" And I was trying to explain that the only guns in the whole place were squirt guns, and they were like stapled to a wall in the back corner, and I could go show them where the squirt guns are if they really want to see them. And then finally they just like all gave up and left. But it was this really weird moment, like just watching like armed men go into like your harmless friend's room with a gun in the middle of the night.
What the fuck, right?
Yeah, sort of like what the fuck. And then it was like a couple days later, more cops came for some stupid reason, and I was just like, "You guys came in here the other night with guns drawn, like we were all sleeping and all this stuff," and they were just like, "Sorry, that was a different patrol. We don't know anything about that."
Well, throughout all of this, I mean, Lightning Bolt have been putting them down for a long time. I mean, your 2003 album, Wonderful Rainbow, got cited by Pitchfork Media as one of its favorite albums from the last decade. Now, and you guys are playing Coachella on Saturday. Now, tell us, all that said, what's one goal you have left to accomplish with Lightning Bolt?
One goal left to accomplish.
Yes.
Getting home from this tour. No. We're working on a new record. I don't know. We just go by little benchmarks, you know, just like finish a song, finish an album,
Finish this tour.
finish a tour, you know, make the album art. Like we don't have big visionary dreams about like, you know, it's just kind of like have fun next time we jam. We keep it simple. So.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us when the next Lightning Bolt album will be in stores?
It's not fully recorded yet. So if it comes out by the end of the year, that'll be lucky, but it might be more like the beginning of the next year. But I actually have a solo record coming out like tomorrow or something.
Alright, tell us about that a little bit.
It's called Black Pus, is my solo band.
Oh, that's...
And it's just a load. It's an LP, CD. It's like stuff I do live. It's just drums and vocals and like in some noise, like an oscillator thing. I'm psyched about it.
Cool. Well,
it's noisy.
Well, that said, we thank you for coming to Visalia.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, again, here's to 2011, here's to new music, here's to ass-kicking bands, ripping it right here at the Cellar Door, right here in the Cellar Door in fucking Visalia, California, in the Central Valley of California. And I'm Alberto Santillan of Arroz y Frijoles, arrozifrijolesmusic.blogspot.com. And I'm here with Brian from Lightning Bolt, and we're signing off. We'll see you soon.
I'm both Brian's from Lightning Bolt.
Both of them.
Tonight.